You got this.
So, today I'm going to be talking about the final frontier, or space travel and innovation. So, back in the back in the 1960s, the United States of America was pitted against the Soviet Union in the Cold War, also known as the space race. And there were some great achievements on both sides, but by the end of the war, it was America that had claimed the Holy Grail, because it was America that managed to land a man on the moon. Arguably one of the most amazing achievements in history. John F. Kennedy said, and I quote, "I believe that this nation should commit itself to achieving the goal before this decade is out of landing a man on the moon and returning him safely to Earth." And that's exactly what he did. He said it was one of the most important achievements in human history, and they managed to do it. And so I believe that space exploration and innovation remains an important part of progress today, and that even though we may not be at war anymore, we still have other issues that I think can only be solved through the innovation and ingenuity of humanity. And so today's problems, I think, transcend nationality and ethnicity, and that I myself am majoring in physics and mechanical engineering, and I want to be an astronaut eventually. But like I said, there are problems that we need to solve, and if we don't solve these problems, that I'm not going to have that future. So I feel like the first problem is overpopulation. I feel that, did you guys know that every second of every day there are twice as many people born as people passing away? And so the growth of the human population is exponential. It gets bigger and bigger every year, and this causes many problems. Like, it causes a lot more environmental issues, such as pollution. It can cause a lot more poverty in different nations, and it causes a lot of conflict between people because there are so many people and not a lot of space to put them. And of course, food becomes scarce, so people start to die. And so a very good way of solving this is to just travel to a different planet. So we have millions and billions of planets to choose from. And if we had enough funding in space research and innovation, we could one day be able to just fly off to a different planet. You know, one planet's getting a little too crowded, you can fly off to the next one. And there's actually been a lot of talk at NASA for colonizing Mars. Buzz Aldrin, probably the second man to ever walk on the moon, next to Neil Armstrong, he went to the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, and he went to West Point Military Academy. He himself has been advocating this project, and if you ever look him up, you can always see, you'll see him. He has the NASA logo, but with Mars in the center, and a lot of things like that. And so, so following from that, we have a second problem, which is the resource depletion and the economy of the world right now, which in a lot of countries isn't very good. And this problem with the resource depletion, like fresh water and mining raw materials, can be solved real easily by just mining things in the asteroid belt, or going to uninhabited planets and digging up whatever we need. And this could easily solve the problem, and we have infinite choices, millions of places to go to solve this issue. Now, for example, there's a planet called 5C55 Cancri, which is a planet that's basically entirely made out of diamond, that actually exists a couple thousand light years away, And under that layer, under some of the diamond, there's actually silicon. And if you guys I'm sure you all know that silicon is a big, important part of all the technologies that we use today. It's in everything, from your cell phone, from your cell phone to your TVs, everything. And so, could you imagine being able to just go off and pick up some diamond from a little planet over there and bring it back? And of course, the first nation to do this, or to manage to do this, would have a huge increase in its economy, because everybody else would have to buy from him. So investing in space travel innovation is also an investment in the economy of whatever nation you're in, and eventually the world. But it starts with one nation. And so with all these people and all these things that I want to do, there comes the problem of finding the way to output the energy that we need to be able to fund these things, like where we're going to get, and this could also help for environments, because right now we're trying to find alternative energy sources, and there's actually this idea of something called a Dyson sphere, which is basically almost like a cage that surrounds the Earth, I mean not the Earth, the sun, and it absorbs the energy and gets about as much use of it as you possibly can. So it doesn't necessarily have to be our sun, but we can find different suns and build this around them, and just have basically a limitless supply of energy. We wouldn't have to worry about fossil fuels. We wouldn't have to worry about things like that, pollution on different planets, on our planet here at home. And this is a picture of what it might look like. This is an artist rendering of something that could look like that, but it's something that would be possible. And Stephen Hawking, who went to the California Institute of Technology, he went to the University of Cambridge, Oxford University. He holds the same chair as Newton at Oxford, said that the future of mankind is in space. It's going out there. That's what's going to save us. Because we can't sit here for too long before we can't support ourselves anymore. And so, in short, conclusion, I believe that space exploration and innovation is the future of mankind. And with this would come no more overpopulation, no more failing economy or depleting resources, no more energy crisis. All we have to do is, as a whole, as a society, support organizations like NASA that fund this type of thing. And you can do that, through your government. Whenever you see somebody like a politician that wants to enforce this and maybe possibly give more money to these organizations, you vote for them, or you help out. You could always donate directly if you really wanted to. And so I feel that together we will reach the future, and it will be a great future.